Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I referred in an earlier video today about news about Kate Forbes, particularly against the Greens. It was talking about the Greens video, if you remember. And I said in there that there was a video coming where we'd be addressing particularly what Kate Forbes was thinking of the Greens. This is very important, as you will see later, because it's likely that Kate Forbes will be making some major decisions very soon. So this is an interesting piece. It comes from the Press and Journal. Again, not normally, because normally they do sort of local stuff. But this one is definitely worth the following, because it seems that Kate is building a power base. She's getting all her, marshalling all her resources, I think. She's preparing for battle. I think you can see the moves are on the ground. She's laying out the markers. There will be, I think, a challenge in the new year, fairly early, I suspect. If the general election is announced early, she may wait until after it, and the massive defeat of the SNP in Scotland, and then launch her campaign. I think if it's announced later, or put back and sort of becoming obvious it's going to be October time, she may just go without the election and go early, but showing that she needs to be in there and in power to give a good run-up to the election to try and salvage as much as she can. Either way, I think the game is up for Humza Yousaf. But we'll take a look and see what's going on. Here goes. So Kate Forbes is building a faction in the SNP, claims the Green leader. Because they know the Greens are watching Kate Forbes with, absolute, fear, I suppose, terror. Because they know the moment she makes her challenge for leadership, she's likely to win it. And the moment she does, the moment she gets her arse in the leader's chair, currently being kept warm by Humza Yousaf, means the Butte House agreement is over and the weird Greens are out permanently. They'll no longer have any power, any say, and they'll lose, most of all, of course, for them, that very generous ministerial salary. They'll have to go to the back benches and fume silently and powerlessly. So I can see why Kate would want to do it. And I think she's strong enough to lead a minority government. For the 2.5 years that you're going to have a Green government, an SNP government, it'd be better to have just an SNP government and have no Greens in it. Anyway, Scottish Green co-leader Lorna Slater was responding to calls from the Highland MSP for a power-sharing deal between the two parties to be brought to an end. I think everyone will benefit from that. And this, of course, was Geoffrey was complaining about it. So one of the Scottish Greens leaders has said that the former SNP leadership contender Kate Forbes is building a particular faction with her calls for the power-sharing deal between the two parties to end. We know, of course, Fergus Ewing, definitely there. They are shoulder to shoulder going into this battle. That for sure is true. Greens co-leader Geoffrey, Lorna Slater, said Highland MSP Miss Forbes is working on internal politics within the SNP, while First Minister Humza Yousaf has established a very progressive cabinet. Progressive. They're saying that in a way that they think it means something good, but it actually doesn't. It's a cabinet of idiots and of the corrupt and of some pretty nasty people, and all of whom, of course, are inept. That's the worst of it. It does mean, of course, that should Kate Forbes win and become leader, I mean, who's going into her cabinet? There's not a great deal of talent to choose from, but at least you could lose some of the worse elements, get rid of those whose IQ is around 86, perhaps. Anyway, following the last Holyrood election, the two pro-independence parties secured a parliamentary majority for the government under the Butte House agreement, making Miss Slater and fellow co-leader The Imp ministers for the first and hopefully last time. There are currently 7 MSPs in the Scottish Green Group and 63 in the SNPs. Miss Harvey and Miss Slater spoke to the PA news agent before Holyrood's Christmas recess. They said Green MSP Ross Greer has a pivotal role. Well, I'm sure he's been pivoted a few times. In relations with the SNP, taking part in fortnightly meetings with Deputy First Minister to stocktake on the agreement. You're just having pictures of her with a strap on, but I mean, I'll leave that one alone. Mr. Harvey and Mr. Greer have put together a coherent package, I bet, of requests, which occasionally push their colleagues beyond their comfort zones. I'm pretty sure both Greer and Harvey push a lot of people beyond their comfort zones. A lot of pushing, a lot of discomfort. There is a good dialogue between government ministers and the respective spokespeople in the Green MSP groups, he said. Earlier in December, Ms Forbes called on the SNP to drop its power-sharing agreement with the Greens and govern as a minority party, which is, of course, the most sensible thing they can do. Get rid of the madness, the insanity, the Marxism of the Greens. SNP backbencher and Inverness MSP Fergus, the sane one Ewing, has also been a vocal critic of the deal, blaming the Greens for unpopular policies. The Green leaders said they see no reason for the Butte House agreement to come to an end before the next Holyrood election, despite every single one of their policies being abandoned, broken, thrown out, ignored and making them look stupid. But they are staying for the sake of the money. Ms Slater said, I think it does show the power of the agreement. It shows the power of the money. Kate Forbes, she said, is working on internal politics. She's trying to build a particular faction. She didn't win the leadership election. Humza did, and Humza has put into place a very progressive cabinet. In many areas, they align with us, not all. Yeah, but he's done. He's done. He could only just scrape over the line by his fingernails with the full party mechanism behind him. The majority of SNP parliamentarians and members back the idea of a stable, pro-independence government, she said. Yeah, but the vast majority of the members don't want the Greens. Harvey the Imp said, the commitment from both ourselves and the SNP is to deliver on everything that's in the agreement. And yet, strangely, nothing has been delivered. He said, now some of that is affected, for example, by UK budget cuts. It wasn't the UK who pulled the DRS. It wasn't the UK that abandoned marine areas. It was all down to you. You're just useless, isn't it? He said, so probably not every dot and comma of the Butte House agreement will emerge as possible. None of it will. None of it is going through. Zero, zilch, nada, nothing. You're failing. And the thing is, you gave this thing and you said, if we don't get our red lines, done, we will walk. And walk you have not. And now they are scared. They are running scared because Kate Forbes is building her power base. Kate Forbes is coming. They know it. And they are scared because they know it's the end. Finally, their dreams shattered, broken, lying at their feet, unfulfilled. Marvellous, isn't it? All power to Kate. Let's hope she does it, because it is a massive, massive slap in the face. And boy, you couldn't give that one a big enough one, could you? Oh, look, there we are. Two very, very weird people at the start of their happy journey. It's all going to end in tears, and she is going to end it. And I can't bloody wait. Coming up. I think just about everyone can foresee the end of Alibaba very, very soon, one way or another. And with it is the end of the Butte House agreement. They've tied themselves to each other's masts, as it were. If one goes down, the other must go down with them. I just have images in my head and I'm not going there. I'll leave that one well alone. But anyway, there they are. We all know Kate is going to be the next leader. She'll make the challenge whenever she makes it. The Butte House agreement will be destroyed. The Greens are out. They'll stamp their tiny little feet, run off to the back benches, and never be heard of again. Can't wait. Get your popcorn out, folks, because it'll be coming fairly, fairly soon. We're predicting it, and we say it'll go soon. Can't say when, but soon. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Definitely recommend the video. Please help the channel by subscribing. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay out of trouble, and goodbye.